Hello, everybody, and welcome in to 49ers post for the 95th Radio's post game show for 49ers win over the Dallas Cowboys. I'm your host Jaymie, here to some go over the stats and talk a little bit about the game. Um, so before we do that, I'm just gonna run some ad clips real quick, and then we'll just get started. So just bear with me, and I will be right back to talk about the game.
Sponsored by Power Brand Systems. Need help getting new customers for your business? Let Power Brand Systems help you grow with their powerful tools. Visit powerbrandsystems.com/Niner Faithful Radio for more info. If you like our content and would like to support the show, consider leaving us a tip in our tip jar at ninerfaithfulradio.us/tip jar. Join our exclusive membership community where you get exclusive NFR content not available anywhere else. Join our exclusive chat, 20% off of all non-sale For the Faithful by the Faithful gear, and much more. Visit portal.ninerfaithfulradio.us/login to join.
For the Faithful by the Faithful Season 4 apparel is finally here. To see this year's designs and also save 20% off of Season 1 through 3 designs, go to ninerfaithfulradio.com/shop.
Tune in every Monday to watch Jason react to the highlights of last week's game. Follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and TikTok, and at Niner Faithful R on X. To you by Shop49ers.com, the official online store of the 49ers. Use our affiliate link in the description to get the latest official Niner gear, save 10%, as well as help out this show. By SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio at SeatGiant.com to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out this show.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys for bearing with me for doing that. So we're here to talk about the 49ers much needed win against the Dallas Cowboys. It was a game, guys. The first half, the Niners have been looking like how they've been looking all season. Not sharp. Miscommunications on offense. Purdy not being very decisive. And stuff like that. They were losing, I think 6-10 at halftime. Then they come out in the third quarter and they score on their first two drives that they have in the third quarter and look very similar to the team that they've been the last couple of years. Very decisive, and all that fun stuff. So they looked more. And then the Cowboys came back in the fourth quarter because the defense decided to just let CeeDee Lamb do whatever he wanted. So there's that. I don't know, man. I will say this. I really hope that this game, that third quarter, whatever was said during halftime, that snapped him out of it at least for a little bit, they can keep that momentum going because I was getting very worried in that first half, and then they came out looking much better in the third quarter and felt much more confident. And yeah, I don't know, man. Purdy was more decisive. They were able to run the ball a little bit more. Kittle got more involved, even though Kittle was involved in the first half, but and it was National Tight End Day, so Kittle had a big game. Yeah, man, I don't know. It was a weird game. I will say that. It was a very, very weird game. The fact that the Cowboys did come back and made it a 6-point game is when they were down, I think like 17 or 10 to 27 or something like that. It's quite weird. It was a weird game. the defense had Dak Prescott threw 2 interceptions, I believe. Almost 3. Very close to being 3. Let's see. We should. Because we definitely won the turnover battle. 2 interceptions. Lenore got one, and Jared Brown got the other one at the beginning of the game, the first half. And yeah, it was just kind of a very weird game. I don't know how else to describe it. It was the first half they've looked like they've been looking, and then they came out the second half and they got everything moving. It was weird. All right, so let's go over the stats real quick. Brock Purdy, 18 for 26, 260 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Rushing. So Jordan Mason did go. I believe it was a shoulder injury. He was out. I don't think he went back in. So Garindo got the bulk of the carries, which he actually had a very nice game. He had some very explosive plays, which was much needed. Garindo had 14 carries, 85 yards, 1 touchdown, as long as it was 19. Purdy did get to rush some, especially in the second half. 8 carries, 56 yards. He did have a quarterback sneak for a touchdown. In the third quarter, I believe, Ricky Purcell had 1 carry for 39 yards. That was great. They worked Purcell in very, very nicely. Jordan Mason only got 6 carries for 18 yards. Debo had some carries, 4 for 15. Taylor Jr. 2 for 9, and then Kyle Juice had 1 for 1. So there is that. Receiving, George Kittle, 6 receptions out of 7 targets, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. Nice day for National Tight End Day and for the creator of National Tight End Day. That was beautiful. Debo, 4 for 71. Out of 7 targets. He did go out with, I believe it was a rib injury, so we'll be monitoring that. Luckily, the spy is here, so that is good. Purcell had 4 receptions for 48 yards out of 4 targets, so that is great. Grando had some in the backfield too, 3 receptions for 17 yards out of 4 targets. Juice had 1 for 6, and then no for Chris Conley and Ronnie Bell. Fumbles. Brock Purdy lost one, but then Aaron Banks recovered one. So that was that. So luckily that didn't become it. And he almost could have had a big one at the end of the game where Dallas could have potentially got it back, but he somehow held on to that ball. Here are some of the solo tackles and stuff. Nick Bosa had a sack tonight. 2 sacks, I believe. 3 obviously very nice night. I know D Winters went out with an injury. Lenore was out. He went back in, so I think he's okay. This bye could not have come soon enough for this team. That is pretty much it for that. Let's see. See what else. Here are the interceptions. Dallas had no, Purdy threw no picks. Lenore and Brown each had 1. Kick returns. Taylor Jr. had up to number of returns 2 for 59 yards. Longest was 30. Jaco Counting for punt returns had 2 for 22. His longest was 16. And then our new kicker, our third kicker of the year, Anders Carlson was perfect on his field goals, 2 for 3, 100%. Beautiful, as longest of 50. Made all his field goal points and all his extra points. So beautiful. And then Nunowski, his longest punt was 45. So that is all of that. But yeah, overall, this team needs to somehow get into that whatever they did in the third quarter. They need to activate that, because that is what the team is missing. And like I know we've had a lot of injuries. We've got hit really bad by the injury bug at the beginning of the year this year. I know we're missing a lot of big names, and it is hurting. But this team proved today, if they play like they did in the third quarter, that they can do it. There's enough talent on this team where they can do it. And Purdy is good enough where he can make stuff happen. And I hope he gets more comfortable with like rushing the balls. There's a couple plays where I wish Purdy would have tried to take rush a little bit, but maybe it's something I didn't see. I don't know. There's a one that was almost a pick that I wish he would have just tried to run for it, and he didn't. But yeah, I don't know. I hope this team the offense especially, just activates that third quarter energy, because that is definitely something that's been missing on this team for a very long time. And overall, glad that they got the win. They're now 4-4. I believe they're second in the NFC West now, behind Arizona, surprisingly enough. So that is that. And yeah, overall, good win, good mojo for the bye. We're gonna need it. We have a tough slate coming up after we come back. But luckily, we'll have some time to prepare for that. Hopefully this bye is beneficial for the players, because I'm not a person that likes to, like, there's a vibe going on with the team that is, I don't know what it is, but it's been a struggle for them this year, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's like something going on that we're not aware about, or the Super Bowl hangover is real and the players are just not feeling it this season, which is, that could be a thing. I never want to rule that out, because I know I do believe that the Super Bowl hangover is very much a real thing and can affect the players' mindset going into next season. And I know we have a lot of injuries. It looks like Christian McCaffrey is set to make his return on November 10th. So that should be when we come back to play the Bucks. So hopefully that goes as smoothly as possible. So we'll keep you posted on that. But yeah, I mean, overall, much tougher of a game than last few times we played Dallas, where we've really gone out of the way and smoked them. But we did win. Purdy bounced back after having a little bit of a rough first half, bounced back in the second half, played a lot better, and stuff like that. And, I think the thing is, too, is that Purdy's playing with a lot of guys he's not used to playing with, so maybe he just has to get used to it, and that does come with time. But, who knows? Like, it's going to be what it is, But my hope is that they somehow work in, like, what they've been doing with Kittle, I think is what they need to do. They just really need to try, if possible, to get Kittle the ball, because he's so good. And this game definitely proved he's still good, and Purdy needs to have somebody, But, yeah, I mean, and there was penalties too, obviously. The Niners struggled a lot in the first half of penalties. Then it was more of Dallas in the second half, so kind of evened out, I guess. But it is what it is. This team's always going to be penalized stupidly. So, yeah. But this was also a good game for the rookies. Parcell played very well tonight. Renato Green played well. Mufasa played well as safety, made some big plays, big tackles, and stuff like that too. So, the 2024 draft class, especially those first early picks, are looking really good. So, gotta keep moving. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not entirely sure what our bye week schedule is going to be like. I do know that the trade deadline, I believe, is coming up pretty soon. So if Niners do make trades, I'm sure we'll do something for it. We'll see. And then any big Christian McCaffrey news, we'll keep you guys updated with that because I know that's a big thing coming up too, especially since he is supposed to come back after this bye week, and he should be reactivated for practice during the bye week and then the following week, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that is about it, guys. Overall, decent game. I know T and Jason will go in much more detail on Tuesdays and more in depth about it, but my initial response, solid game. Really wish it was more, not as close as it was, but this was a good. They were losing the first half. They came back. They won. I think it's good. They did bounce back a little bit, which I think is something that they needed to do. And hopefully this just turns the season around a little bit and they play a lot better because they definitely have the potential to do that. They just have to figure it out. And I don't know, man. It's just wild how weird this team has felt off all season. That third quarter was the most that they felt like how the Niners have been feeling the last few years than they have all season. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Unless you guys have any other comments or anything, I would love to hear you guys' comments. If you have any comments, I know there's about 24 of you in the chat, which is nice from Twitter. So that's cool. But yeah. Alrighty. Well, if there is no comments, I will let you guys go for the evening. Enjoy your guys' Victory Monday. Enjoy the bye week. And as